So I really wanted to drive my Cobra around, and I wanted to go hang out with my brother, so I asked him if he wanted to go for a ride. We'll just cruise around town for a minute. So my brother and I both got our bachelor degrees here at this college, and it's fun to go back and park there with our dream cars and not have to be in college anymore. So while we were in college, we bought our Mach 1s. It was something that helped us get through college, you know, the stress and all the homework and feeling like your life's completely taken from you because your time is completely gone when you're working full-time and going to college. So it's fun to go back here now with the Cobras. Enjoy. I give it some revs, but
He also sold his house. He's moving to Oregon for a job.
so we're just here hanging out, having something to eat. This is a nice place that I used to go a lot with my other friend when we do mobile detailing and stuff. And so we're just kind of reminiscing on this side of town and knowing how hard it was to work, extra hard. I had two jobs I was working at the time to pay for my orange Cobra, and so I like coming here and enjoying eating in the same place we used to eat and just, you know, being able to relax and enjoy the cars. And we both couldn't get over how good the car looked. It was looking so nice with all the reflection and everything. The paint was beautiful. So just look how good the Cobra looks tonight. Jeez, look at that. Man. Oh yeah. Man, I'm getting bad at that. I did that with the blue Mach one the other day. Oh, it's open, I guess. The Cobra keychain. was pretty cool. Now it was time to take the yellow GT out because it was raining, and it's a perfect car to take out in the elements. I was gonna take the blue Mach one out. Gonna go run a couple errands, and it was raining, so it's perfect. Take the GT. It's just another awesome car to have around for this exact reason. You don't have to drive the nicer cars in the rain. So anyway, it's awesome. I love having this car just for the quick little runarounds and things like that I need to do.
Knocked over his chair.
So since it was raining and I was around this really big open parking lot and it looked really slick, and I thought, that's really easy on the tires. Let's do a little bit of drifting around in the parking lot for some fun. So those donuts got the car a little dirty, I guess. I guess. It's alright, we'll wash it. That's why it's on the grass. Yeah, my friend has a white one. My cousin and I got our Mach 1s together. He does have a white GT, you're right. It was fun to get these Mach 1s together and go to a really cool place and hang out, go for a walk, and then go drive. E46. So we actually met up with our friend's black Mach 1 and our Mach 1s together, and they were having this huge open house for a hot chicken place here in town. And so it was fun. They had a lot of exotic cars. Like everybody in the car community was invited for a car show. So we all hung out, and I got a really nice spicy chicken sandwich, and it was nice of them. They gave those away. You laugh at me. So yeah, that was my wife laughing at me because I dropped my phone. So my wife and I went on a date to that same chicken place, and my cousin and his wife went with us. So we went on like a double date, and we were taking the GT, and they showed up with the Mach 1. So that was pretty fun, and it was a nice night, and that was pretty cool. So rained on the GT, rained on both GTs, but next day we went for a cool trip down to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Muscle Cars at the Strip show. I made a whole video about that if you'd like to see it. It's about an hour and a half long almost. It was pretty cool. So we took the Mach 1 down there and we just enjoyed the day. It was a beautiful drive, beautiful time. It was just fantastic. We really enjoyed that and a lot of fun. I wanted to take my blue Mach 1 with my sons out for a little drive. We went to the new temple here for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Beautiful temple. And we love coming here and going for walks around here. The temple is just about to open, and so it's still kind of in an open house stage, and the official open house is closed, but you can still go walk around the beautiful temple grounds, and I'm going to show you how nice it is. We just love coming here. It is right by our house, and so we can just go hang out here and everything, and you can just see how wonderful this is. Anybody is welcome to walk these grounds. Anybody could come in here and just enjoy this peaceful, beautiful place, and so I like coming here with my family and going for walks. Favorite view. It's so beautiful. it's always a good time to come and have a talk with my family and tell them about how I love my cars, but my family is way more important than the cars and stuff. And so that's something we do when we come here and hang out and put our life into perspective. But beautiful day, beautiful time to go cruise around, and we're going to go drive around some more. So we went to one of our favorite restaurants, always where you can see the car. This is our favorite table. So went and got some dessert in the neighborhood where my wife and I bought our first house nearby. And so walked out to the Mach 1. I parked behind this bank where no one was around. Very nice place to park. So we went for a drive to have our dessert, and we thought there isn't really a nicer place to go than the other temple in town. Yes, there are two temples here. And so we went and ate on the grass here, and this was a wonderful time. Beautiful time to enjoy together and play around on the grass and have dessert and see the Mach 1 and just enjoy the evening. This is my idea of being out on the town and enjoying time with the family and the cars and stuff, and just getting to enjoy the car out in the wild. So this was really fun. Beautiful Mach 1. Looks so good. Reflection looks great. Paint looks really good and everything. And this is a really nice part of town to go to, and we just really enjoyed being here. So my wife took the GT, and then when she got back, it was time for an oil change. Now, what's about to happen, I made a YouTube short about, and I asked people if they can guess what happened, and some people got it right. Some people thought all I did was accidentally bump the panic button in my pocket for the key to the GT, but what really happened was it set off both GTs. That's always embarrassing, you think the whole neighborhood's looking at you, but for those who got that right, yes, the key fob was originally to the yellow GT. The silver GT was easier to fix. It took a lot shorter time, and so we got it on the road and we're daily driving it with no key fob, and I forgot that the key fob I had went to the yellow GT, so I programmed it to the silver one, but now it works for both cars, and so in this case the fob was pointed low enough that it only set off the silver GT. So then when I went to turn it off, it turned off the silver one, but it set off the yellow one, and then they were both just fighting each other, so I think I hit unlock and lock or something, and it made them both be quiet. But anyway, it was time to do an oil change on the Silver GT. We've driven it 12,000 miles. I've done 2 oil changes so far. I like to change the oil about 6,000 miles with full synthetic in the Ford Motorcraft filter. I've been wanting to change the oil on this car for the last little while, but it was kind of cold. I just thought, well, I'll wait till it warms up. There's still enough mileage to go on this oil, and the oil looked good, and I've checked the level and all the fluids and everything's been just fine with it. But it was about time to go ahead and do an oil change on it, so I got under there and did it, and I just really like that I had that meme. And so every time I do an oil change, I can't help but think of this meme I made a long time ago. It says, "You can't feel the difference from an oil change. I can. No more guilt." And then the teacher's face. But that's true. And every time I do an oil change, I think of that meme and I laugh to myself and I think about, getting the oil change done, finally feel good about it. And, to a car guy, he'll tell you that you can feel a difference, that the engine runs smoother, that all these things, when really it's more of a matter of just knowing that you did it and, knowing that it needed to be done and just getting under there and doing it. So I was happy to go ahead and change the oil on this car. It really deserves it. Daily driver use from me and my wife. You see the yellow front end from a Terminator Cobra from my Taxi 1320. Fought the oil filter a little bit. I usually don't use an oil filter wrench. I've used a leather belt that actually worked better, but here's a plastic cutting board. I like to use this and wedge it in there, and then when you unscrew the oil filter, it drips right in the pan. It's funny to think that they would make an oil filter that goes on sideways, and I did actually pre-fill the oil filter this time, and I've been trying to do that. I even watched a thing about people who said that it actually helps to change the oil and add to the filter before you run the car. So got that all there. I used the Kirtland full synthetic 5W30. The GT, that's a nice oil. My friend who's a mechanic says that he looked at all the oil tests and it's about the same as Mobil 1. And so I run about 6.5 quarts in all of my 4.6 Mustangs, especially the 4-valve cars. And that seems to be right on the money. And they need a little extra oil, I think, compared to what they recommend. I think that keeps the bearings nice and everything good. You actually hear a lot about 4.6 Mustangs having rod knock issues and spun bearings, and I think it's because people don't keep an eye on the oil levels, and then they blow head gaskets if the coolant leaks, and on these 4.6s it will leak in the valley on the heater hose area, and maybe the expansion tank cracks or the plastic intake manifold on the GTs will crack and you start losing coolant and don't notice it. And I think that's why most of these cars have blown head gaskets or spun bearing. Actually talked to a guy at the racetrack who said he thinks that a lot of 4.6s starve the front bearing on a hard launch when they're at the racetrack too. So I took the GT out for a victory dinner after I ate, and then looking at the beautiful silver metallic on this GT as I hung out in the driveway. The weather is really, really nice right now, and got the nice shade and a beautiful day to enjoy with these cars, and I just love looking at the cars here. So we had to get to a soccer game, and my wife had the silver GT, and so I brought the yellow GT, and we got to drive the cars together and park together and stuff. That's always fun. I've had videos recently of taking these two GTs out together, going to other events and stuff, and it's just fun to look over and see these two together. I love these cars. These cars are so good looking. They're the coolest cars in the neighborhood here. You know, you see all the other bland cars around. And it's fun to think these cars were both completely parted out and totaled, and they're both back on the road here to be enjoyed as beautiful, awesome, iconic muscle cars. And something I just really love, both GTs, both V8s, you know, just awesome, awesome cars. I couldn't be happier to have these cars and put them in my family and be able to enjoy them together. So my wife needed to go off to a meeting, and so she was on her way in the silver GT, and then I was with the rest of the family in the yellow one. So I had to go to this theater dance rehearsal place and go bring something that my wife left, and so I took the Cobra. It was a perfect excuse to go for a drive. Invited my brother to jump in. We went across town in the Cobra and just enjoyed being out and about. Cobra looking fantastic as usual. Brother invited me over to his house for a barbecue, so I took the yellow GT. Here's his white GT, if you've seen the cool story he has about it. And then the next day, my friend and I met up with his LS1 Z28 and the blue Mach 1 to go to a car show, and we were just driving these around together, hanging out. Went to a second car show, so there were two on the same day. That was really fun. And we met a new friend. This is his 98 Bright Atlantic Blue Mustang GT. I called it right on the spot when I told him, it's a 98, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, how'd you know? I said, well, the 98 didn't have the clock on the top of the dash like the 94 to 97 did. So you see that coyote badge and you think, man, that must have something pretty cool under that cowl hood. We'll get to it here in a second. But I had seen the car around, but I had never had a chance to talk to him. And so we met and had a great time, and we all hung out and talked. And here's his Gen 2 Coyote. And he also has a Tremec TKX behind it. Really cool transmission. A cousin here with his Mach 1.
Grandpa used to say, right?
Red and yellow are for clowns. Red and yellow. We noticed that the McDonald's sign matches our Mach 1s. Mustard and ketchup, right? And so we were just laughing because our grandpa always used to brag about his black Mercedes, and he'd say, red and yellow are for clowns, black is for prince and royalty. So we took our two Mach 1s to another car show they had the next day. Got the beautiful torch red and zinc yellow Mach 1, both 03s. We've just been having so much fun driving these cars around together, whether it's the blue Mach 1 or the yellow one, and my cousin's red one back, in service again after 6 years of a bad engine. Roush. Yeah. So at the car show, we met this guy who had a beautiful 94 Toyota Supra that he had bought brand new. And it has 140,000 miles on it, but it's very, very well taken care of and beautiful. And this is what they call, the Supra, and the Cobra, the Terminator, is the American Supra, is what people are calling them these days. This one's a stick shift. There's another white one in town that was an automatic, and he said he did see that guy the other day, and so kind of cool to see. And I thought this was the automatic car, so at first I was like, oh, there it is. But no, this is one I hadn't seen yet, so pretty cool to see this car. I mean, man, these seats look really good for the mileage and everything. And so you can see our Mach 1s over there. I got to tell you about this Trans Am too. WS6 LS1 Trans Am 2002, one of the last 14 built. So it had all the good parts on it. See the 241 heads on it. And this was really cool to see. And the lady who owned it was very nice. She was telling me how excited she is to have it, and I asked her what year it was. She said it was an '02 and told me all that information, and she was just really excited to talk to people who are into muscle cars like she is. And so beautiful WS6. I've had a lot of experience with these cars. I've ridden in them, I've driven them, my friends have had them, my younger brothers had several of these, and so they're really cool cars, the same era as the Mustangs that I love. And so it's kind of cool. I was telling my friend how these are the cars that, like, back in the day, you buy one of these, do heads cam intake, and you're keeping up. Look at that bolster wear. I think it was 40,000 miles this car has on it. But yeah, I mean, this is what people would build up, and they'd battle it out. And this is a good muscle car era for me. This is what I lived through. So this was a pretty cool rolling shot my cousin got of me driving my yellow Mach 1. Looking really good, beautiful scenery, beautiful car. I love this. So this was a lot of fun. We enjoyed driving and cruising together, and this makes all the memories. We broke apart. I went to a soccer game with my family, see how beautiful the Mach 1 is there. I always tease about how bland all the vehicles are around, and then you see the bright yellow Mach 1, special, iconic, awesome muscle car. I love this car, and that bright yellow just screams out at you. I guess that's why they renamed it Screaming Yellow in '04, but this is Zinc Yellow, and I love Zinc Yellow. So, very happy with this car. I love the shine on it. I think it's a fantastic car. I'm very proud to own this, and I really love it. So, as we were at the soccer game, my cousin came by. You can see him, and you can hear a little bit of his Mach 1. There he goes. I used to play soccer on the same field when I was 6 years old, and you'd see all those cars driving on one of the main streets in town there. And as I was playing, I'd always be distracted looking at the cars. So here comes a Mach 1. Pretty cool to see my cousin driving by. And it's hard to hear, but he made some noise. But I could hear it, but in the video it doesn't come out because it's so loud at the park. So we went out to get something to eat after the soccer game, and Mach 1 looking fantastic. I just love walking out to the car. I love seeing it in every parking lot. This is what makes it enjoyable to own a car that you love, because you're always enjoying it. It's something you get to appreciate and have fun with every day.
Catch up to our friends. There he is. Oh, there he goes. It is like Bullet. We're going up the hills and there he is.
So sometimes we play Bullet, where if you come up on a friend and he doesn't notice, you try to get behind him and try to see when they will notice. So here, he still hadn't seen me. I was waiting for him, and then I finally got his attention and he saw me. So he had lit it up pretty good, and he asked me if I got it on video. I said I didn't, because I gave the phone to my son to text my wife back something, and so I made it up, and I said, here, I'll record you now. Alright. Time to work on the yellow Mach 1 a little bit. Got the pinion seal's been leaking a little bit. Let's see if there's anything. There's not really anything there now, but yeah, that's it. Okay. Get this thing up in the air. So in the colder months, I think the pinion seal leaks a little easier. I'll drive the car, everything's warm. I look under it, like an hour later, nothing's there. Come out the next morning, and then there's a big puddle underneath it. So I was like, okay, it's time to do this pinion seal. I've been waiting for it to get warmer out, because I don't have to do it right away on this car. I've got plenty of cars to drive in the meantime, but I just was putting it off. And then we did my cousin's, in just like one night real quick. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it to this one. Put it on 4 jack stands so that and had the front raised a little higher, so hopefully I wouldn't lose as much fluid this time doing it like we did on his. But we're gonna get here, so just kind of a quick update about that. I'll make a whole video about this stuff, but the worst part is getting the drive shaft off, having to like break the bolts all loose and like get up and put the car in gear and do the parking brake thing and like move the drive shaft and then do the next two and everything. So it's a lot of work. But anyway, got all the new parts for it here. I'd ordered a new rear pinion seal. This is a Timken one. I kind of wish I would have bought the Ford one, but my brother used the Timken one on his car and said it's doing pretty well. And I'm just going to put some extra RTV on it. Got a Ford nut here. These are like a one-time use, and they have a Loctite already on them, but I'm going to add a little extra. So I'll make the whole video about that. But basically, borrowed these cool tools from Kurt with the Sonic Blue Terminator. And, I went under here and worked on the car. And you can hear my cousin show up as I'm working on the car. So I got that all finished and got it cleaned up underneath here a little bit too. Looks really good. And I cleaned up the whole diff, everything, so that I'll know if it leaks again. My cousin's Mach 1 was having an issue where his turn signal lights wouldn't work, but that middle wire was pulled out a little bit. See, I did figure it out. We didn't know how to figure that out. We were chasing all sorts of stuff, but anyway, got that back in. It kind of clicked back into place, and everything's good. So that's the update for now of what's going on, all the Mustang stuff in my life, and it's a daily thing and I enjoy it, and that's what makes it a passion, when you really enjoy what you do. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.